Alright guys, so Sonic X Shadow Generation has just finished with the release of the final DLC featuring Movie Shadow as a playable character with Keanu Reeves. And since we have all the stages and bosses, it's time to rank these stages using a tier list. But before we get into all of that, please make sure to subscribe and enjoy the vid. Let me know what you all think of this, and let's get started. But yeah, just for the record, we are going to skip the Sonic Generation stages because I feel like all of us know that. So we start off with Space Colony Arc, Act 1. I feel like that was a pretty good introduction for Shadow Generations, considering with the cutscene, opening cutscene. And yeah, I'll put this on S tier. And then we have Act 2. This was the beginning of the 2D sections. And I would say I would put this, and I'll put it a B tier because like I'm not really a big fan of 2D sections. For me, I personally prefer 3D sections. Okay, we got Rail Canyon. So Rail Canyon Act 1. I would put that at a A tier. It's not bad, but it's still, I don't know. I've been hearing a lot of hate about this, but for me, I personally like it. Oh yeah, the soundtrack is good too. Next up is Act 2, El Canyon. This was kind of a letdown. 2D sections again. I don't know. I kind of like it, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Something about it is just missing, you know. And I'll put that at a B tier. All right. So next up, we got the Biolizard. So when I played this was a step up from the boss level from the 3DS version, and you know, I like the visuals, I like the sound effects. It could have been great if we got supporting me with the actual lyrics. I think this was like a remix of it. I'm not really sure, but I really prefer the lyrics. It makes it more nostalgic and all that. But I would have to put this at A tier since it's very good. All right, next up we got Kingdom Valley. I gotta put this at S tier because Kingdom Valley deserves S rank because it brings back Sonic 06. So next up we got Kingdom Valley Act 2, and I would say this would be I would put this in A tier because it's not as bad as the other Act 2s, but this is pretty good because when I heard the soundtrack for this, it was like so intense, like you know, and I prefer that this would be A tier. All right, next we got Sunset Heights Act 1, and I would put this at an S tier immediately because they revamped this from Forces, which I think they had like a 1 minute level in Forces, but here they had like a whole segment, like with the robots and everything. Yeah, they pretty much stepped up the game this time. So for me would be S tier. Next up we got Act 2. I would put this at, just a B tier because, it's the same as Act 2 as anybody else. Alright, next up we got the second boss is Metal Overlord. I would put this at S rank because the music slaps and we get to hear an interaction between Shadow and Metal. And yeah, next up we got Chaos Island, and I'll put this on A tier because it didn't have the same feel as Sunset Heights or Kingdom Valley, but at the same time it was pretty good, so I would put that in A tier. Next we got Act 2. I would put this at a B tier. Alright, next up we got Mephiles from Sonic 06, and I gotta put this on S tier, man. Like, I can't because we haven't seen Mephiles since Sonic 06, and now they're bringing him back. But yeah, I like this boss battle, even though it was really easy. Besides that, it mentioned that Shadow or anyone from Sonic didn't remember the events from 06. So yeah, it's nice that they brought that back and or they recognized it. And yeah. All right, next up we got Act 1 Radical Highway, and I put this S tier because this was pretty good for me personally. Cause the beginning, the music, it was beautiful. Cause I think it was like the same music from the trailers. I think. Next we got Act 2, and I'll put this at a B tier or A tier. My bad, because yeah, I just feel like it. Then we have the final boss, Devil Doom. I would say I would put this at a A tier. It was kind of hard for me, and it was pretty challenging, but I got used to it. But yeah, I had to play this a couple times, not gonna lie. And final DLC stage that was recently included is the Tokyo Act 1. And just for Keanu Reeves, bro, I'm just gonna put this on S tier because Keanu Reeves, is phenomenal. And yeah, I like how they did all this for one stage. Alright, so there you guys have it. That's my tier list. And I hope that I did very good in this video. I don't know if I did, but if y'all enjoyed it, like make sure to like and leave a comment down below and let me know how I did because I'm trying to start this, like trying to get used to this, you know what I mean? Thank you all for watching the video and I'll see you next time.